Hey guys, Ryan here, Espey's Gym. Had a question come in today. It was actually, it wasn't today. Mr. David Lopez, thanks for your question. It was a few months back, and it was with regard to training for multi-sports, in particular arm wrestling, powerlifting, and strongman all together. And I've got some experience with all three, and I've trained all three at the same time. I will say that the question that came in, it's a tough one to answer because there's many right and wrong answers, and it depends on the person. The question is, can you train for all three simultaneously? Can you build up your overhead pressing? Can you build up your bench press? That kind of stuff while you're actually training for arm wrestling, or will it give you too much of a beating on your tendons? The answer is kind of yes, and it's kind of no. If you feel your tendons need more rest, don't let it get to the point where you need to take time off from everything. You may need to back off and prioritize what you want to train for. Doing a bench press the day after doing a heavy arm wrestling training session is going to kill your inner elbows, especially you're talking about axle overhead presses where you're really extended in the wrist, putting a lot of strain on these tendons that are also trained for arm wrestling. So it's going to be very tough to maintain that. Now it depends on a lot of other factors for a lot of different guys. Is there enhancement? Is there not? What's your nutrition like? What's your self-care like after training? I think you can probably do it, seeing how you seem to be at a decent level for everything you're doing right now. I will say that building a bench press is very hard to do while you're training for arm wrestling. Maintaining a bench press is not that hard to do. Hard arm wrestling training, if you're hitting all the areas you should, is going to take up a lot of your recovery ability. But that being said, give it a try. But somebody once told me when I was training for strongman, powerlifting, arm wrestling, and mixed martial arts. So I was trying to be really strong at a bunch of things, really strong at doing movements like stones, tire flip, all that stuff. I was trying to be Mr. Cardio Man, because you have to do that in MMA, that's your main focus, and still trying to maintain strength for arm wrestling. I could not do it, and a good friend said, do you want to be really good at, you want to be the best at something, or do you just want to be good at a whole bunch of stuff? And the answer to that question for me is I want to be the best right now, and I've got a new focus, and it's going to be based on arm wrestling. And I'm sorry to say for the powerlifting guys, but the powerlifting movements are going to be considered almost accessory work for me, which is a completely different way of thinking if you're from that powerlifting world. Those big three exercises are the focus for everybody, and everything else is an afterthought. Well, I'm flipping that, and those three are going to be the afterthought, and all the arm wrestling training is going to come first. I mean, look at how many arm wrestlers are elite powerlifters. There is only one that I can think of, and he has stopped that other sport to focus on arm wrestling. That being said, there's a very small handful of us that can still bench 500 plus, but there's not very many, and there's not many guys that I would consider top 5 that can come close to that. So it's kind of up to you. Feel it out. If you start to feel that tendonitis kick it in, something's got to give. So be conscious of that. Of course, the training for overall strength is going to help you in your arm wrestling, but it's the beating that your tendons are going to take in doing things like an atlas stone, where you're extended and you're picking this ball up with the pressure from your forearms and your fingertips is incredible. And doing a farmer's walk, or you're doing a Conan's wheel, where you're a flexed arm hold and you're walking as far as you can. Those are all the things you should be doing kind of in some fashion in the gym for arm wrestling anyway. Now you're doubling that up, so eventually you might hit overtraining. I don't know, man. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you figure it out. Keep us posted on how it goes.